Hey guys, Sarah with SarahleeCrochet&Fabric here, coming to you with a crochet with me ruffle hats. I know everyone's been seeing the ruffle hat around. It's become quite popular. I do sell them in my store. But today I will be crocheting one for you. So I will try my best to explain it. I don't do tutorials often. But let's go and get into it now. You will need to know how to crochet because I'm not really teaching how to crochet. All right, so what you'll start off with is a slip knot and then a chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And then what you'll do, that will be considered a double crochet. So you'll do 14 more double crochet in the loop. So 1, 2, this is not my favorite crochet hook. I can't find the other one. It is I'm sorry, it is a 5mm. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, make that a little bit more manageable. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. So that does make, with the chain 3 at the beginning and 14 double crochets in the loop, that does make it 15 double crochets in the circle. And then what we do is that we will go ahead and do a slip stitch on top of the very first chain of that double crochet to join. Okay. All right, so we have that. So for this next row, you will need to know how to do a front post double crochets. Okay, so you'll chain 1, and then right under the chain 3 first double crochet there, we will go ahead and do a front post. And we will do front post double crochet to each of the remainder 14 to make a total of 15 front double crochets on this second row. This is kind of weird for me because the way I crochet is usually like laying back and not really sitting up at my desk. Almost there. And this is, of course, is my way how to do the ruffle hat, which is basically a beanie first and then you create the ruffles. Okay, so we have the 15 front post double crochet, and then on top of that first double front post, you'll go ahead and do a slip stitch to join. And right now we have something that looks like that. And then you will chain 1. Okay. And then what you'll do after that chain 1, you want to find your first front post, which is right here. And you will go ahead and do a front post again with the same one as you did before. And then right next to it, there's like a little space there. You will go ahead and just do a regular 1 double crochet in that. Okay. And then next, this was the front post from the previous row. You'll go ahead and do another front post. And then right next to it there, you will do a double crochet. So you will do that pattern all the way around. Front post, and then next one will be a double crochet again. There's the front post right there. It kind of pops up. You'll do a front post double crochet, and then right next to it you'll put in a double crochet in that space. Okay, so we would just follow that pattern all the way around. I know everybody are loving this hat. I average sell, because I'm still selling on eBay, so I average about 2 hats a day usually, and then usually another 1 or 2 via Facebook and some of my other sites. So I do like Macari, I do Poshmark, I already said Facebook, but yeah. And then of course we have the occasional workmate that will ask me to make one. Okay, so after that last front post and double crochet next to it, I will go ahead and join on top of the first front post here with a slip stitch. Okay, and then chain 1, and then what we'll do, you'll see that front post poking right there. You'll go ahead and do a front post under the same one, and then now we will do 2 double crochets. Okay, and then go find that front post. It'll always be a little elevated, and then next to that we will put in 2 double crochets, front post, and then 2 double crochets, front post, and then 2 double crochets. Go ahead and take that to the end, and then I'll meet you for the next row. All right, so completing this row, which happens to be row number 4, and we are just finishing up this last one. You see the front post right there? We're doing another front post using that, and then in the space next to it we are doing the 2 double crochets, and then we will be slip stitching. There's the first front post, we'll slip stitch right on top of that to join. Okay, so now we will go ahead and do chain 1, and we're going right back under that front post, the very first one, and then right in the space right next to it we are doing 3 double crochets now. 1, 2, and 3, and then we're finding that next front post is becoming very quick, easy to see now. There it is right there, and we will be doing a front post double crochet right under that, and then in the space right next to it we will put in 3 double crochets. So I want you to keep going until you get to the end, and I'll meet you there. All right, so finishing up technically row number 5, and then of course we're doing the front post, and then 3. Let me do that again, 1 second. Okay, so there we go. We're doing the front post right there, and then right next to it we're doing 3 double crochet into that same space, and then to join we're following the front post of this first row and put in a slip stitch right in there and chain 1. All right, so this last row, officially row number 6, will be our ongoing repeat row. You will repeat this, let me just make sure. You repeat this 11 times. So it will go, this will be considered the first one, and you'll repeat it 11, total of 11. So you'll do row number 6 and then go, I guess, 10 more rows after that to get the length. Okay, so just to go ahead, let's start that one. So we're doing the front post, and then next to it we are doing 4 double crochets, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and then going right in here, doing the front post, and then doing 4 double crochet in that space next to it. So you would do, this one is considered number 1, and then you would do it 10 more times. Okay, now if this is number 5 hook I'm using, so of course if you do use other sizes hook, larger hooks will make the hat bigger, wider, and smaller hooks will make the hat smaller. So, and then also if the head size is bigger than what this ends up to be, then you can increase, instead of stopping at doing the 4 double crochets after the front post, you can go to 5 and then continue there with the repeat to go ahead and make it for a larger head. But go ahead and complete this, make 11 more of these rows, and I will meet you at the end of that for the next step. Okay, so we are finishing up the last row here. 1, 2, 4, and then you slip stitch into the stitch right on top of the first front post double crochet. I always go by measurement. I like to measure my work. It just works better for me. So right now I have about a 7-inch hat, which will work for the typical standard adult. Of course, if you want to make it longer, then you would just keep going before you start the process beginning for the ruffles. Okay, so the way the ruffles, we'll go ahead and chain 1. I like to do this process to create a foundation for the ruffles, because the ruffles is a lot of drama and kind of have a weight to it, because you're using, you'll see it, you use a lot more stitches, so it's a tiny bit heavier. So I like to create a foundation for the ruffles. So on top of each of these cluster of stitches, there are technically 5 double crochets. So there's the front post double crochet right here, and then there's 4 double crochets. Okay, so what we'll be working in, we'll do single crochets in the 4 only, the 4 double crochets. Okay, so we will just start that, creating single crochets, and then when we get to the stitch for the front post double crochet, we'll just skip over it and continue doing single crochets. Okay, all right, so there's the stitch for the front post double crochet. We're skipping over that and then just going and working our single crochets in the 4 double crochets. Okay, if you can, that can make sense to you guys. I like doing this foundation because to me it just creates a nice sort of fit before you start all of the stitches that creates the ruffles. Okay, so we're just going along here. Let me just show you again. So this is the stitch for the front post double crochet. We're not using that. The 4 double crochets that went after those will be where we put the single crochet. So this one right here will be the front post stitch, so we're skipping that and we're going into the first one for just the double crochets and doing our single stitches. Back again, there's the stitch for the front post, skipping that, and then doing the 4 single crochets. It won't be a massive deal if you accidentally you know, do the stitch, the single crochet where it shouldn't be. It's not going to make that massive of a difference, but I just personally prefer it this way. And like any crochet project, once you kind of I always do it the way the person say to do it, and then I go in and see if there's anything I want to do that might work better for me. So okay, we are already at the end with this, so we will go ahead and slip stitch in that first single crochet that we did, and there we go. All right, so it is now time for the start of the ruffle. So we'll go ahead and chain 3, and that is considered a double crochet. And in that same stitch that we slip stitch into, we're going to do 2 more double crochet. Okay, and so what we'll do is do 3 double crochets in each stitch all the way around. So just continue with that, 3 double crochet in each stitch, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, and then let me do 1 more, and then I'll meet you guys at the end of this row and show you what the work should look like. Okay, so I'm just finishing up this row, which is the 3 double crochet in each stitch. Okay, and then slip stitch in on top of the first double crochet from the beginning. All right, so this is what we have, just to take a look. It's just the beginning of the ruffle. So for this row, we did the 3 double crochets in each stitch. For the next row, we're gonna change it to 3 double crochets in the first stitch, and then 2 double crochet in the next. So a 3, and then a 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. Okay, that confused me. Okay, so let me just show you. All right, so first we'll do 3 chain 3. That will be considered a double crochet. So in the first stitch, we're doing 3. We want to have 3 total. So that's a total of 3 double crochets. And then in the next 2 stitches, we will do 2 in each. 2, 1, 2. In the next one, we will do 3. 1, 2, 3. And then the next one, we'll do 2. Third one, we will do 2. Okay. And 1, 2, 3. Starting. And then we're doing 2 in each of the next ones. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2. And 1, 2. Okay, do a few more with you guys. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Oops, 1, 2. I kind of like this part. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 1, 2. I like it because I consider myself a fast crocheter, and I can kind of go fast on this part. I didn't like it before because it's a lot of stitches, and it's also a yarn eater. The yarn I'm using is Hobby Lobby Pink, and that ball is 355 yards. I will probably use just about all of it. At the end, I'll show you what I have left, but that's about around 300 to 320 yards is what it takes me to make one of these hats. So just keep that in mind, that these are yarn eaters. So smaller balls, unless you have multiples, you may not have enough to finish. So I will continue, and I am on number 3 here. So let me just do that, and then we can meet at the end of this row. Okay. Alright guys, so just almost finishing up the second row of ruffles. And let me go ahead and do that here. We're doing, this row is the 3 double crochet in one, and then 2 double crochets twice in the next stitch. So 3 2 3, no, 3 2 2 3 2 2. Alright, so, and then whatever it finishes as, it's really not a big deal since it is ruffles. So you go ahead and on top of this first double crochet, right on the top of the third, because this was the chain 3 to start off, so on that third chain you go ahead and do a slip stitch. So just to show you what everything is looking like right now, you can manipulate these and all kinds of good stuff. But the final row of actual double crochets, we are doing 1 2 3 chains, and then we are doing 2 more double crochet in that same stitch. So this one will be 3 1 1 3 1 1. So it'll be 3 double crochet in one stitch, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet in the next, and then 3 1 2 3, and then 1 in the next stitch, another 1 in the next stitch, and then 3. 1 1 3. These ruffles are not as tight. I know I've seen a lot of other hats online where they're very condensed. Of course, if you're looking for something more like that, then you're probably looking at doing more double crochets in each stitch. That would be the way to get that look. This particular hat is a nice ruffle, but it's not as dense. 2 3, and then 1 in the next, 1 in the next, and then 3 1 2 3 1 and 3. All right, so follow that pattern all the way around, and I will meet you at the end. All right guys, so we are at the end where we did the last row of the ruffles. So this one was the 3 double crochets in one stitch, 1 in the next stitch, 1 in the third stitch, and just keep following that pattern. Okay, so we are just about finishing that up here, and this will be as far as the end to any kind of ruffles, but we do have one more finishing touch that I think it is very important. Okay, all right, so we'll go ahead and do a slip stitch on the top of the first double crochet. All right, so this next stitch that I do just pretty much seals everything in. It secures I think the ruffle, and let me show you what I do. All right, so in each stitch from this point we will do a slip stitch. So you would just go, it's just like a finishing stitch. It looks really cute as well if you're doing different colors, and if you do the hat, you know, whatever variegated color, and then you do this part with the solid stitch. I think I have a hat in my store that have that, and it looks really cute. But in this case, I do it anyway, but in this case, we're just doing it with the same color. So we would just do slip stitches in every stitch until we go all the way around. And then we will go ahead and sew in our, in this case, only 2 ends from the very beginning where we started, and then the ends of this slip stitch, and go ahead and use your darning needle or hook, whatever way you use to hide your leftover yarn after you cut it. But yeah, we are pretty much done. I will go ahead and get some pictures posted after I'm done. But yeah, this is pretty much what it looks like, guys. The ruffles are really cute. Once you finish the slip stitching in every stitch, you will be all done as well. That is a part, if you choose, you can go ahead and skip that part. It's something I do every time because it works great for me. But I will get this on a mannequin and show you guys all the different styles you can wear this as. Thank you guys so much for crocheting along with me today. Have a beautiful day. Bye.